Oops. What is it? There we go. Okay. Oops. And then start the server. Alright, welcome back, guys. So, where are we? Right, so we're gonna start creating our products endpoint. Before we do that, I'm gonna actually do a thing that I totally forgot to do, which is I'm gonna set a global prefix. So what is this? App.set global, there it is, to API. And once that's done, we might have to update our tests. But all of our routes is gonna be prefixed with /API, which obviously makes sense because this is an API server. So in case a front end is served on the same server, it won't conflict with the API route. Let's quickly update our test endpoint, which means /API. That's all we have to do, and alright, cool. And yeah, so I'm gonna make a new window to start doing some stuff, and also make it bigger so then you guys can see. Alright, so what were we doing today? Oh, right, we're gonna start on our products module. So nest generate module products. And let me check. Did I go with plural or singular? Of course I went with singular. So product. And once that's done, let's also create some stuff. So we want a controller. So nest generate controller product, and hopefully it's in the same directory, which it is. Alright, let's generate, and we also want a service products, and I really hope that this goes in the right place. Alright, cool. Everything's all in the right place. So we have the controller, we have the service, and our app module is importing the module. Perfect. Now before we start doing actual coding, let's add some imports. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is have access to the database. So the mongoose module, and this time it's gonna be for feature of, and then let's see, the for feature is, it's an array of objects. So name is gonna be product. Schema is product schema. Okay, there we go. And then next we're bringing in the shared module, so we have access to the users module, the user service. I mean, also I believe I want the auth module, so then I can use authentication stuff. This may change. I'm not sure if we need these two, but let's keep it in for now, and we'll fix it up in a bit. Let me think. No, I don't need the auth module. I don't think so. Yeah. Actually, let's start without it and bring it in if we need it. Yep. So controller. We're obviously gonna want our product service that we're gonna touch up in a bit. Product service. And let's just define the basic CRUD routes for now, and we'll get started on everything else in a bit. So gets. This is gonna be, we're gonna list all of the stuff, and then post to the same route is gonna be a create gets to the ID is gonna get read. There we go. CRUD stands for create, read, update, and delete. All right. So this will read the specific thing. Then a put route for the updates. Update. There we go. And then a delete route to delete. All right. These also are the ID routes. All right. We'll definitely come back in a bit, and I'm actually gonna get rid of this test files. So rm source product star ts. All right, and let's go in our service, and then the dependency in here that we're gonna want is our mongoose model. So we're gonna use the inject model thing, and this is the product model, which is a model of product. There we go. And I believe the inject is actually the model name, which is capital. All right, cool. So let's make the CRUD methods first. So find all is going to be return. These are all going to be async functions, so don't forget to do that. Oh wait, this dot product model. Oh, right. Make sure that our class can actually use that. So this dot product model dot find, and then also I want to populate the owner field, because that's if we bring up the type, it's going to be a user from Mongo. So it's going to initially be a reference ID, but we're actually going to populate it with the actual user. So that's what this is going to be for. Oops, that's not an A. And then the next thing is find one by the ID. Let's actually add some types. So this is a string, and we're going to return a promise of products. This one is a promise of product array. So return this, await this dot product model dot find. Actually, Mongoose has find by ID, so we just do this, and then of course populate. Async. What's the next one? It is create. So here we need, we don't need the ID, we need the data. So that's going to be product data transfer objects. It's going to be any for now. And we're going to be returning a promise of a product. So actually, it's going to be a couple lines. So first, we're going to create the product. Equals to this dot product model dot create product DTO. And this is going to be asynchronous, so we need to wait for it. Then we have to wait for it to save. And I believe we can just return product without doing a refind. I think update might have a different thing, so okay, for update we also need the ID, which is a string. And update, update doesn't need anything else. Products. And then this is so how does this work? So we find it first, product.model, find by ID, by the ID, then we await product.update, passing in the actual document, so product DTO, and then we can return product. We might have to double check this, but I don't think you need to do another find. I think it mutates in place, so we should be okay. And then delete should just take in only the ID, because we don't need the actual data for it. Because we're just gonna delete it. So return, do we still find it? Yeah, we do. This dot product model dot find by ID, await product dot remove, and then we could return product. Alright, so the next step, I want to create the data transfer object types in here. And I think I just added it into this directory, so we can just make it here. So touch source products product.dto.ts. So the first one is, also make sure to export all of your interfaces. Interface, this is product DTO, which should look a lot like this product. So I'm gonna, and let's see, do we need, no, we actually have to address the owner in a bit, so we don't need that. Title, image, description, number. Okay. Alright, cool. And then we also want to create a type for update product DTO. And I'm using type here instead of interface because it's just going to be a partial of the create product DTO. And partial just means that it can have any of these fields, but all of them are optional. Speaking of which, the user is never gonna supply the created date, so that's out of the way. And this number should actually be named price, so we need to update that here as well. Whoa, go away. What is this? Okay, so hopefully our model is saying the correct thing. So yeah, it says price here. Schema is correct. The actual type was wrong, so make sure to update that. The transfer object looks good. Let's just update it here. This one's the create. And this one is the update. update product detail. There we go. Alright. That's all of the CRUD basic functions, and then now we're just going to add it to the controller. So all of these are going to be async, so just make sure to add async to them. Async. Ooh. Can I use this? No. Alright, return this dot product service dot stuff. Okay, so the list all is going to be find all. Create is going to be find one. This one we need. Oh, it's actually this one. This one's the find one. And we need the ID, which is given to us in the parameters. So param ID string. Alright, the create is just gonna be dot create, and this one we need access to the body, and I'll just name it products. And this is a create product DTO. Product goes there. Update is going to be dot update, and which needs the ID as well as the product. So we can get that. Param of ID and body of products, which is this one is a update. So update product data transfer object, and then finally deletes just needs the ID. Param ID string, and this is a typo because this is not supposed to be a string. Alright, so that's the basic CRUD functionality. Now we just need to add the next thing, which is authentication stuff. So technically we can't create a product unless we are a seller, and for us to be a seller we also have to be logged in. So here we would do a use guard, providing the auth guard that we created in the last video or so, as well as the seller guard, and that will protect all of this next part. It will also give us access to the user object of the request. User, and then this is going to cause a naming conflict, so I'm actually going to do this from what is this, // types, and this is going to be user, and we're just going to rename it and give it an alias of user document, so then we can use the type over here without worrying about conflicts in names. And we're going to need this because the user object is going to be put into the product as the owner. So this is going to scream at us now because we have to update the create function to also take in a user, which is the user document. Oh wait, this in the service you don't need to rename it because we're not using the user decorator. Okay, so all we have to do is update this. We're gonna spread the product DTO, and we're also gonna set owner to the user. So Listing all of it, you don't have to be logged in to see everything, so that's fine. You also don't have to be logged in to see a specific item, so that's okay. Put and delete, we want to ensure ownership. So we need it to be the correct user that owns this product. JWT seller guard, and let's see. I didn't do the ensure ownership quite yet, so I guess we'll save that for the next video. But this is the basic CRUD functionality of products, and we have set up the guards right now for authentication and authorization, I mean. And yeah. Yeah, so in the next video we're gonna finish this up by ensuring that is the correct user for both of these products so that they could make updates. Okay, so I decided not to make a brand new video just to do ensure ownership since it's such a small change. There's a couple changes I made from this same video from the last thing. So I added a find by owner because I added 2 routes to the controller. So these 2 routes. So mine for getting all the products that you own if you're a seller, which is why there's a seller guard here. And then there's also this route for seller/ID, so then you can see all the items sold by another user. And also for this one, there's no guards on it because you could be not logged in and see everything, which is fine. And let's see. Oh, also in the service, I forgot to add populate to all these other functions because I figured it's good for consistency that everything will also show the owner of the product. All right, so for ensure ownership, we have to update and delete to also take in the user or user ID. And it's going to be pretty similar to how I did find by user. I take in the user ID, which is just the string, and we're just going to do this thing. So let's do that. So let's go look at all the things with seller guard in it. So these 2. And let's get the user. And this is going to be a user document. And alright. So I'm just going to destructure the ID from user. We have to alias it as user ID. And then we can send in user ID as the 3rd argument. And similarly for delete, we're going to do the same thing. User documents. And then ID, and then alias it, user ID from user, and then send in the user ID. Alright, so that's good. Now we just need to go into the service. And in here, we need to add user ID, which is a string, and after the find, we're gonna have an if statement in here. And we're just gonna do if user ID is not equal to product dot owner dot toString. Then we'll just throw an error. Throw HTTP exception. Is it HTTP status of unauthorized? And I'll just put in the thing, you do not own this product. Typo is not blah, blah, blah. Yes. Yes, I meant new. And then also same thing here. Product.owner.toString. And I'm just gonna actually do this and go P. Alright, cool. So also remember that you have to toString this because product.owner is a MongoDB object ID. It's not actually a string, so you need to make it a comparable type with user ID. So that's basically all you need. All right, and in the next video, we're actually gonna start writing tests for all of this, so that we could ensure that all of these methods and this controller works correctly. All right, now I'll see you next time. Bye.